Let's check in on Fox and Friends. Have they got the memo yet that everything is critical race theories?
I think they have.
Let's check in to see if they've got the memo that everything that is nefarious is a critical race theory. They just
skin color, you're either an oppressor or you're a victim. One of the hot spots for this debate is Loudoun County, which is just to the west of Washington, D.C. And over the last couple of days, there was a Loudoun County mom whose son graduated from Loudoun County High School in 2015. Her name is Xi Van Fleet, and she survived and escaped China after the revolution. Remember, 20 million people died in that revolution. She ripped the school board the other night and said it's a form of neo-racism. She was very brave standing in front of those people, and this is a little bit about what she had to say about what the school board was doing to their kids.
Growing up in Mao's China, all this seemed very familiar. The communist regime used the same critical theory to divide people. The only difference is they use class instead of race. During the Cultural Revolution, I witnessed students and teachers turn against each other. We changed school names to be politically correct. We were taught to denounce our heritage. The Red Guards destroy anything that is not communist. This is indeed the American version of the Chinese Cultural Revolution. The critical race theory has its roots in cultural Marxism. It should have no place in our schools.
So she's saying, let's not make the same mistake here.
So what you see is the Chinese also spending a ton of money to do just what she's saying they did then. They are in every aspect of our system, the college system, education system, the political system. The smallest congressman, the biggest university, the biggest school at the University of Texas. I would not be surprised if they are somehow pushing an agenda through willing surrogates that is helping to destroy our country, first and foremost in our school system, which is outraging us currently right now.
Ding,
My
ding,
fear is we're going to get used to it.
She said the difference is that was about class. This is about race. You had another teacher from Fairfax County, right next door to Loudoun County, who came over to the school board meeting, and she got a roaring ovation after she spoke. They clipped her mic at the end after so many minutes. But she said that critical race teaches kids to root for socialism and to judge people by the color of their skin.
That's right.
We're seeing this all around the country. The New Jersey teacher that quit her job.
And look at the states that have banned it. You got Arkansas, Idaho, Iowa, Montana, Oklahoma, and Tennessee.
Florida's voting on it.
Yeah,
today.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the final.
The Chinese are sneaking the critical race theory into our school.
But they're melding it, right? Because, you know, I know, like, there's people in my life who watch Fox News and they're just like, oh, the Chinese Communist Party. Like, they're getting my information. So there's a lot of that. And then there's a lot of critical race theory we're hearing about. No one can really define it. No one knows what it is, but it's just it's very bad. So, like, now melded into one. Perfect Fox conspiracy.
Just to be clear, I've gone over this in the past. Critical race theory has existed for probably at least 40 years. When I went to law school in 1991, we had critical legal theory that we were taught. Critical race studies was a legal doctrine. It is a way in which to examine the law, not based on the legal principles that go into the creation of law, but a
fundamentalist approach, I would call. Wouldn't that be similar to a fundamentalist approach of law? Like where you don't look at anything outside. Like
they called it classical. They called it classical legal thought.
Right.
And in fact, Brandeis, you go back as far as like the Brandeis brief when it came to things like child labor. And 40-hour work week, as he was litigating at the Supreme Court. The Brandeis brief became synonymous with like actually looking at the outcomes of law. What does the law actually do in practice? And this is what this doctrine was. It was like, how do we assess what this law actually does? And one of the critical legal theory I guess subsets. It's critical race theories, which was to assess how laws impact racial dynamics. It has nothing to do with what is going on in Loudoun County, which is talking about racial equity. And
can we just say, like, Virginia, like the idea that the problem with Virginia textbooks is like too much communism is just laughable given the history of education in that state particularly. Like it's pretty gross. Like the Mao, this is Maoist now. As like, did we ever follow up on the body cameras for teachers? Is that a real thing or was that a joke?
Oh yeah, that is it was just really just one person. I have that here actually. It's on Christian Newswire.
Oh, nice.
With more and more teachers choosing indoctrination over education. This is just like the oldest story that the right has been pursuing for years. Parents in Washoe County School District have become frustrated with the lack of transparency. And apparently one person said, we should maybe, one parent's rights activist has a novel proposal. Make teachers wear body cameras so they can spy on the teachers when they teach the kids. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Where's the Maoism?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What they understand as Maoism?